13th, 2052. Dear Kendrick, I hope this old school letter finds you well. It's unfortunate that the relentless request by Henry Rose to connect with you on social platforms, coupled with the insane online stalking committed by Leo, ultimately wiped you from the internet back in 2023. You'd be so impressed by CGI, Charlie Gray Infoverse, on which most of the planet now communicates. I know you're old, but maybe just give it a shot. It's hard to believe 30 years have passed since you left Latin and teaching along with our class of 2022. I'm feeling particularly nostalgic tonight, having just returned from the Romans floating campus in Chicago, where we had our 30-year reunion. Since you've been off the grid for so long, I wanted to share some updates on how life has progressed for many of my peers. Of course, you know all about BenyJet, Will Benford's crazily successful airline that you co-founded, like 20 years ago with him. We all love that you let him have the name, but you took charge of the, some would say, over-the-top purple theme to its operation. It's so cool that you led the international route planning for them and just recently retired to your favorite spot in that cabin up in northern Norway. Your K-Unit 2.0 Advisee family has talked about their reunion there with much fondness. Many of us continue to follow in your footsteps, heeding that advice you gave to Latin graduates in 2018 to not always be yourself. When you moved out of a successful teaching career to pursue other passions, it really hit home the importance of carpe diem and making the most out of each scarce day that we get in this life. Shreya, for example, now runs a 6-property global empire of big cypress lodges, building off her amazing success and revamping their original Memphis property. Then there's Colin Dwyer, who still seems to just be wandering the planet chasing squirrels. Each their own, I guess. Claire reversed climate change. Omar spends every day imparting personal finance and economic wisdom to kids around the world after skyrocketing to great success as the CEO of his fashion shoe company. Sean and Preston might have been the first people to move to a country simply for the name of its currency. Of course, Vietnam. But their senior year economics presentation about that country never left their hearts, and they have single-handedly helped reduce demand for both crack and heroin. Former stains on the country's health, which has contributed greatly to their PPC expansion. I'll see Virginia Governor Tommy Newman fairly often, although he's always 15 minutes late, to every meeting. He may have been wildly inconsistent on all fronts as a teenager, but he's become a consistently amazing leader during these difficult years. You'd be very proud. I probably shouldn't say this, but McKenna McMurray, your bro, is one of the stealthiest spies that's currently working for the government. After conquering NASA, she pivoted nicely to develop her masterful maneuvering skills so that she can find out incredibly helpful information to keep the country moving forward. At the reunion, it may not surprise you, but Amelia Rose was still wondering about her grade in AP Stats. You'd think after running the LPGA after the last 25 years, she'd let it go, but Asher has landed in your home state of Maine, where he runs summer camps themed on uncontrollable laughter and shark cages. He finally got Gavin to conquer his fear of Jaws this past summer by locking him in a shark cage for 2 weeks. We hired Toby and her Moro Makes Magic landscaping company to do some wonderful updates around the house. She's really got an amazing knack for creative beauty, both inside and out. Lucy Norris continues to run amazing dog sledding trips up in Alaska, where she still passes along the raise your paw graduation cheer, whoop, 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 to all of her mushers. Of course, you know Caesar had a great run with FC Barcelona. But he ultimately landed outside Mexico City, where he runs the most amazing horseback riding farm that caters to delivering incredibly rewarding family reunions. A lot of love for that kid. Old Soul Kovitz is killing it at the Lyric Opera. Alessandra has really taken off on Broadway over these past few years. Our reunion has also brought some updates on a few of your former colleagues that you may not know about. Miss Ochi and Miss Jenna continue to conquer the streaming world with their program, Two Old Biddies Getting It Done. Dr. Hooker ended up working with Marin Creamer and Caroline Cruz. They've actually been through here a few times to run some of their amazing seminars on positive thinking and maintaining calm with humor during difficult times. Sanchez, after years of ignoring group texts, had some help with his from his much better half to develop an ear device that actually allows you to literally cancel all noise from anyone you choose, thus taking his text ghosting to a whole new level. Hennessy, of course you know, persisted. She continues her remarkably successful podcast, Stop Being Stupid, America. Many, myself included, believe she single-handedly influenced the unanimous legislation passed to protect the right to choose for all women, equal pay for all women, and life imprisonment for mansplaining. Truly, she's a force. Sadly, it's not all good news. Mr. MacArthur stared at a wall for 5 days straight last February when the Buffalo Bills lost their 14th Super Bowl in their 14th try, this time at the hands of 74-year-old Tampa Bay quarterback Tom Brady. Lastly, the Majid duo, Miss Majid and her firstborn Elise, joined forces to revolutionize machine learning with genetics by developing a strawberry basil infused cure for the most common genetic disorder. Of course you want to know about your own K-Unit family. Since it's been a few years, I'll give you a quick rundown. Sabrina Hayes redefined the karate hierarchy, requiring the purple belt to be introduced beyond the standard black belt. Most of us think that her never-ending frustrations from Lake Michigan famed paddleboarder Alex Lindemann might be the cause. Zoe Weiss is still running several amazing sports camps for disabled kids. Kazi was recently appointed the president of the Human Rights Commission after they did nearly 24/7 outreach across the planet, striving to make it a more inclusive place for all. Keely, still suffering from PTSD from being pranked during a sophomore advisory outing, has the most successful home-baked goods company in history, somehow figuring out how to mass-produce treats that still taste fresh and delicious. Vivi is a worldwide lecturer on the benefits of failing and has caused a drop in high school anxiety by a factor of 4 as a result of her tried and tested approach. Demarian. Demarian wore a green shirt. Sophia Matchett is actually the stage manager at Alessandra's play on Broadway. Hardy runs the financial investment arm of Geeson's Glutes, the company that Noah invented, which produces male body tape, replacing buttons on a dress shirt to allow just a little hint of what lies beneath. David Cordone finally stopped procrastinating and partnered with the uber-successful graphic designer Israel Martinez, who makes these cool headbands that David distributes with his company. We got to see some cool images from when David was the best man at Israel's wedding to Nat, now a world-famous spiritual author. I had to step away for a second to take a phone call. It turns out Evan Jones got nabbed for running an illegal gambling ring. And his instinct was to call me, his one call. He still thinks he was in our grade. All right, I'm starting to get a little fuzzy on some other details. I have a few more, though. Jack Tarula ran around the reunion the whole time in a panda costume? No idea what that was about. McKenna Fellows is like the first lady of FinTech, even today when things have changed so much from our high school days. Remember Bitcoin? Lucas Baroni works for an economic think tank dedicated to the rebuilding of the Turkish economy. By the way, his final 2 outstanding economics assignments from high school are included with this letter. Better late than never. Ronan might not have lifted a pencil or a calculator in either of your classes, but he's lifted his way to win 4 Olympic powerlifting medals. Micah has found the same Olympic success as a climber, even though his brother Max always stands at the base of the wall, taunting him every climb. And Ava is going for even more track and field medals in her 7th Olympics next week. She's made sure to put to rest her favorite Ralph Waldo Emerson quote, "I don't fear failure. I fear succeeding at something that doesn't matter." Charlie Williams and Alana own and operate females fixing effing everything. Today's version of Home Depot, combined with providing repair services to hopeless dudes nationwide. And lastly, back to your stalker, Leo. His watch brand quickly became one of the most sought-after brands on the planet, with orders placed years in advance for each of his custom-made watches. He's only prepared 2 special editions. One for Zuzu Cuties and hair, in the year after he was named the sexiest tennis player in the world by Statisticians International. The other, Kendrick, was for you and is enclosed with this letter. It's all purple all the time and reflects just how much of a connection the class of 2022 has with your goofy damn self, even 30 years later. I hope you've enjoyed this update. I suppose I should end with an update about me, but instead, I'll just invite you to my house for that soon. Your friend, the President of the United States, Shalom Ajiganis. Okay. Now it's actually me, present day, Tim Kendrick. I want to thank the class of 2022 for this wonderful honor to speak at Class Day. While I had great fun dreaming about and sharing some of these glimpses into the future, I hope you all remember that it's always the moment right in front of you, right now, that counts the most. You have all inspired me throughout this year, and it's your energy and spirit that are helping me embrace such significant change in my own life by leaving with you. I wish you all the very best in your adventures and advise you, and all of you, to never rest. Life is about your single journey. Make yours the best you possibly can. Never stop discovering who you are. Follow your hearts, and promise me that you'll always chase your dreams. Much love and congrats to all the seniors.